Hello. How are you? Welcome to SS Express Media. With Uzal Hussain. I shall discuss about Ultimate Band 8 IELTS Speaking Test and Detailed Feedback. SS Express Media Target Word Count. Pacing. Clear, instructional, and highly engaging for Bangladeshi students. Part 1. Band 6.5 vs Band 8.0. What's the real difference? Cut to the host standing in front of a clean studio background with the SS Express Media logo visible. Host. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to SS Express Media. Think about this for a second. You study hard, memorize tons of fancy vocabulary, and practice in front of your mirror every single day. You go into the IELTS speaking test room, you answer every single question without stopping. But when the result comes out, it's a band 6.5. Why does this happen to so many brilliant candidates right here in Bangladesh? Why do we get stuck at 6 or 6.5 when our dream universities in Canada, the UK, or Australia demand a band 7.5 or an 8? Visual. Text animations detailing the four main IELTS criteria: fluency and coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, pronunciation. Host. The truth is, getting a band 8 isn't about using big, robotic words you found in a dictionary. It's about how you naturalize your English, connect your ideas, and eliminate native language interference. What we call the Bangla to English translation lag. In today's massive masterclass video, we are going to show you a complete, unedited, realistic IELTS speaking mock test that achieves a band 8.0. We have tailored this specifically for Bangladeshi students. But we aren't just stopping at the test. After the interview, I am going to break down the exact performance with a microscopic, phrase-by-phrase feedback session. I will show you exactly what a band 6 answer sounds like versus what a band 8 answer sounds like for the exact same question. Grab a notepad, get your favorite cup of CHA, and let's dive straight into the test environment. Don't forget to subscribe to SS Express Media and hit that bell icon so you never miss our daily English practice sessions. Let's start. Part 2. The complete Band 8 mock test, 23125:00. Visual. Screen fades to a professional test setup. Split screen showing the examiner, strict but encouraging, and the candidate, a student from Dhaka, relaxed but focused. A timer clock is shown in the corner. Phase 1. Identity check and warm-up examiner. Good afternoon. Welcome to the IELTS speaking test. My name is Anthony Wright. Could you please tell me your full name? Candidate. Good afternoon, sir. My full name is Rafid Ahmed, but you can just call me Rafid. Examiner. Thank you, Rafid. Can I see your identification, please? Candidate. Yes, absolutely. Here is my passport, which I used during the registration process. Please take a look. Examiner. Thank you, that's fine. Now, in this first part of the test, I'm going to ask you some questions about yourself and some general topics. Let's talk about where you live. Do you live in a house or an apartment? Candidate. Currently, I reside in a spacious apartment located in Mirpur, which is a bustling commercial and residential hub in Dhaka. Our apartment is on the 5th floor of a multi-story building, and it's quite cozy despite the chaotic environment outside. Examiner. What is your favorite room in your home? Candidate. Without a doubt, it's my bedroom. I've designed it to be my personal sanctuary. It has a large window that lets in plenty of natural light in the morning, and it holds my entire bookshelf. Whenever I feel overwhelmed by the fast-paced city life, I retreat to my room to read or simply unwind. Examiner. If you could change anything about your home, what would it be? Candidate. That's an interesting question. If I had the option, I would definitely expand the balcony space or add a small rooftop garden. Because Dhaka is a concrete jungle, having a bit of greenery right outside my living space would make a world of difference for relaxation and fresh air. Phase 2. Part 1 General Topics. Topic 1. Technology and Gadgets. Examiner. Let's move on to talk about technology. What kind of technological gadgets do you use most often? Candidate. I'd say I'm practically inseparable from my smartphone and my laptop. My laptop is my primary workhorse. I utilize it for my academic assignments, online presentations, and researching materials. On the flip side, my smartphone keeps me tethered to my family and peers through messaging apps, and it also serves as my primary tool for navigation amidst Dhaka's infamous traffic. Examiner. Do you think people depend too much on technology nowadays? Candidate. Unquestionably, yes. We have reached a point where automation and digital tools dictate our daily routines. While it has streamlined communication and boosted productivity exponentially, it has also made us somewhat fragile. For instance, if the internet goes down even for an hour, businesses grind to a halt, and individuals experience a sort of phantom anxiety because they are disconnected from the virtual world. Examiner: do you remember your very first mobile phone? Candidate: oh, vividly. I think I was around 14 years old when my parents gifted me a basic Nokia feature phone. It didn't have a touchscreen or high-speed internet access. Its capabilities were strictly limited to voice calls, text messages, and that classic snake game. Compared to modern flagships, it was prehistoric, but back then, I felt incredibly empowered owning it. Topic 2. Public Transportation Examiner. Let's talk about transport. How do you usually travel around your hometown? Candidate: given that I live in Dhaka, my transportation choices depend entirely on the distance and the time of day. For short commutes within my neighborhood, I prefer traditional cycle rickshaws because they are eco-friendly and readily available. However, for longer distances across the city, I've been heavily relying on the newly developed Dhaka Metro Rail. It has completely revolutionized urban transit here, saving us from hours of gridlock. Examiner: is public transport popular in your country? Candidate: it is immensely popular, primarily because it's the financial backbone for the vast majority of our citizens. Millions relies daily on public buses, local trains, and rivers ferries. That being said, its popularity stems more from absolute necessity rather than comfort, as many local buses tend to be overcrowded and poorly maintained. Examiner: what are the advantages of using public transport compared to driving a private car? Candidate: from my perspective, there are two monumental advantages: affordability and environmental preservation. Operating a private car in a developing nation like ours incurs exorbitant costs for fuel and maintenance. Public transit drastically cuts down individual expenditure. More importantly, subways and buses transport hundreds of commuters simultaneously, which naturally mitigates carbon emissions per capita and eases overall traffic congestion. Phase 3. Part 2. The Q card, long turn. Examiner: thank you. Now, I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Candidate: yes, I understand perfectly. Examiner: here is a pen and a piece of paper for making notes, and here is your topic. Describe an important decision you made that influenced your life journey. Candidate's 1 minute note-taking period. Hypothetical notes. Decision: choosing English literature major instead of business administration. When? 3 years ago after HSC exams. Why? Passion for storytelling vs parental pressure for corporate path. Influence: changed career vision. Analytical thinking. Content creation skills. Examiner: all right, Rufford. Remember, you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. Please begin speaking now. Candidate: I'd like to talk about a pivotal decision I made roughly 3 years ago, just after completing my higher secondary certificate examinations. It was the choice to pursue a bachelor's degree in English literature and applied linguistics rather than opting for a mainstream business administration track, which was highly expected of me. At that specific juncture in my life, I found myself at a major crossroads. In Bangladesh, there is an unspoken societal pressure pushing students towards conventional paths like business, engineering, or medicine, because they are perceived as financially secure. My parents, naturally wanting the best for my future, strongly encouraged me to enroll in a business school. However, I have always possessed a profound passion for literature, linguistics, and the art of communication. Making the final decision required an immense amount of introspection and courage. I had to sit down with my family, lay out a cohesive plan, and gently convince them that my long-term career fulfillment lay in language mastery and content creation, rather than corporate finance. This choice has fundamentally reshaped my life journey in several profound ways. Firstly, it allowed me to immerse myself daily in something I genuinely adore: preventing academic burnout. It sharpened my critical thinking skills, enabled me to view global issues through a multidimensional lens, and dramatically enhanced my linguistic precision. Furthermore, this decision directly catalyzed my venture into digital media and educational content creation. Had I chosen the corporate route simply to conform to societal norms, I likely would have lacked the creative freedom and drive that I possess today. Ultimately, it taught me that taking a calculated risk based on personal authenticity can lead to far more rewarding opportunities than simply following a predetermined path. Examiner: thank you. Did your parents support your choice immediately after that conversation? Candidate: not instantly, no. There was an initial period of skepticism, which was entirely understandable given their protective nature. However, Once they witness my dedication and academic achievements during my very first semester, their doubts completely evaporated, and they became my biggest cheerleaders. Phase 4, Part 3 Two-Way Discussion Examiner. We've been talking about an important decision you made. Now, I'd like to discuss some more general questions related to this topic. Let's first consider decision-making in families. Who usually makes the major decisions in families in your culture? Candidate. Traditionally, family dynamics in Bangladesh have been quite patriarchal. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Candidate. I can understand the merit of that argument, but I lean towards a balanced approach rather than complete agreement. Technical experts, such as engineers, economists, and scientists, are undeniably crucial because they possess the analytical data and specialized knowledge required to assess feasibility and long-term risks. However, if decisions are left solely to technocrats, the human element might be neglected. Politicians and community representatives are needed to bridge the gap because they understand the emotional, cultural, and day-to-day realities of ordinary citizens. Therefore, the optimal approach is a synthesis where experts formulate the technical blueprints, but community stakeholders provide democratic validation. Examiner. Thank you very much, Rufford. That is the end of the speaking test. Candidate. Thank you so much, sir. Have a wonderful day. Part 3, Deep Dive Feedback and Band Breakdown, 25:0150:00. Visual. The host returns to the screen. A massive digital whiteboard appears behind the host to break down sentences visually. Host. Welcome back. Now, let's look at why that performance was a solid band 8.0. Many students think Rufford spoke flawless English like a native speaker from London. Did you notice any accent? Yes, he had a natural, clear Bangladeshi accent. But IELTS does not test your accent. It tests your pronunciation clarity and your grammatical range. Let's break down exactly what separated Rufford's performance from a typical band 6 or 6.5 student. We will look at each marking criterion carefully. 1. Fluency and coherence, FC. Host. A typical band 6 student does what I call mental translation. They think in Bangla first, translate the words into English, and then speak. This creates long pauses inside sentences, like this: I live in, Mirpur. It is very crowded, but I like it. Did Rufford do that? No. His speech was completely continuous. He used natural fillers to buy thinking time. Let's look at a side-by-side comparison of a common mistake versus the Band 8 technique. Question type: Band 6.0 response style, Band 8.0 response style. Rufford. Why it reaches Band 8 Part 1. If you could change your home, I want a bigger balcony. Because Dhaka has no trees and I like plants. If I had the option, I would definitely expand the balcony space. Because Dhaka is a concrete jungle. Uses hypothetical grammar. If I had, I would, combined with an idiomatic landscape description, concrete jungle. Part 3. Role of public opinion. Government must listen to people. If they don't listen, people will be angry and make problems. Ideally, public opinion should serve as the cornerstone. If public opinion is completely disregarded, it can cause widespread discontent. Uses high-level linkers, ideally, furthermore, therefore, and abstract noun phrases, widespread discontent, instead of simplistic verbs. Host. Notice how Rufford used structural linking words. Unquestionably, yes, from my perspective, at that specific juncture, furthermore. These are structural pillars that keep your speech coherent. Don't say and then, and then, and then. Use signposting language. 2. Lexical resource, LR. Host. Vocabulary is the biggest trap for Bangladeshi students. Many trainers tell you to memorize words like pusillanimous or pulchritudinous. Please, do not do this. It sounds completely artificial. Band 8 vocabulary means using collocations, words that naturally go together, and idiomatic expressions correctly in context. Let's look at the vocabulary map Rufford used during his interview. Rufford's vocabulary map: bustling commercial and residential hub, instead of very busy place, personal sanctuary, instead of my favorite clean room, concrete jungle, instead of city with too many buildings, practically inseparable from, instead of I use it all the time, primary workhorse, instead of main tool, tethered to my family, instead of connected with parents, grind to a halt, instead of stop working, phantom anxiety, instead of feeling bad, pivotal decision, instead of important decision, at a major crossroads, instead of in a confusing situation, paradigm shift, instead of big change, democratic validation, instead of people voting or agreeing. Host, see how smooth those are. They flow naturally into sentences. To help you practice these terms in your daily routine, I've organized them into a quick reference study guide for you, Electric Light Bulb Quick Vocabulary Guide for your practice sanctuary, a place of safety or holy peace. Example, my study room is my absolute sanctuary, technocrat, a technical expert who exercises real political or executive power. Example, economic policies shouldn't be handled exclusively by technocrats, gridlock, a traffic jam affecting a whole network of intersecting streets. Example, the new traffic system saved commuters from daily gridlock. Point 3. Grammatical range and accuracy, GRA. If you only use simple sentences like subject plus verb plus object, your grammar score is capped at band 6. To hit band 7 or 8, you must show complex sentence structures. Let's look at 3 specific grammar frameworks Rufford executed flawlessly. Framework A, the second conditional, hypothetical situations. What Rufford said, if I had the option, I would definitely expand the balcony space. Structure formula $\text. If A plus backslash text, past simple. Backslash dots plus backslash text, the would, plus backslash text, the verb base. $why it matters. It demonstrates to the examiner that you can talk about imaginary situations with perfect grammatical control. Framework B, present perfect passive voice. What Rufford said, we have reached a point where automation and digital tools dictate our daily routines. And our transit system has been completely revolutionized. Why it matters. It shifts the focus away from the generic agent to the action itself, showing corporate or academic level sentence styling. Framework C, concession clauses. What Rufford said, while it has streamlined communication, it has also made us somewhat fragile. Structure formula $text, while, plus backslash text, clause 1, positive, backslash text, clause 2, negative contrast, $why it matters. This structures a multi-dimensional perspective, instantly pushing your score past the band 7 threshold into band 8.4. Pronunciation, P, host. Let's clear up a major myth about pronunciation. The examiner does not care if you sound like an American movie star or a British news anchor. Look at the official IELTS descriptor. It says is easy to understand throughout. L1, first language, accent has minimal effect on intelligibility. Rufford retained a clear Bangladeshi identity in his voice, but he mastered 3 critical areas: word stress. He correctly stressed photograph, product T6 tie, and a mo CRA tick chunking. He didn't speak like a robot word by word. He grouped words together naturally into ideas, pausing slightly at commas and full stops. No slurring. He clearly pronounced word endings like pluralis, buses, reforms, and past tense ed, reshaped, disregarded. Many Bangladeshi students drop these endings due to fast speaking, which drops the pronunciation score significantly. Part 4. Interactive practice prompt for viewers. Visual. A bright, colorful title card animation reading, Your Turn. SS Express Media Interactive Practice Block. Host. Now, let's make this an active practice session for you. I don't want you to just watch this video passively on SS Express Media. I want you to speak out loud right now. I'm going to display a standard IELTS Part 3 question on the screen. I want you to pause this video for 60 seconds, record your own voice on your phone, and evaluate yourself against the checklist below. Interactive check. Test your response strategy. Do you lead with a clear, direct answer phrase? Do you expand your point using a connector word like furthermore or consequently? Do you provide a concrete real-world example from Bangladesh or global contexts? Do you wrap up with a summary sentence to keep your speech coherent? Host. Practice this consistently, and you will see your confidence skyrocket. Part 5. Outro. 47:3050:00. Visual. Soft, inspiring background music swells. The camera slowly zooms closer to the host. Host. That wraps up our massive IELTS Speaking Band 8 Masterclass today. The roadmap to an 8.0 isn't about luck. It's about converting your passive English vocabulary into active English speaking habits through structured, systematic daily routines. If you want to download a complete PDF transcript of today's mock test with all the collocations, idioms, and grammar breakdowns highlighted, check out the link down in the description box below. We have put together an entirely free resource bundle just for our SS Express Media family. Before you click off this video, leave a comment below telling me, what is your target IELTS band score, and which part of the test trips you up the most? Is it the Part 2 cue card, or the Part 3 deep discussion? I read every single comment, and I will personally reply with some tips to help you overcome your challenges. If you found this video valuable, please give it a massive thumbs up, share it with your friends who are preparing for their exams, and make sure to subscribe to SS Express Media. Let's keep practicing, let's keep improving, and let's achieve those dreams together. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum.